Hey folks, Sean McCormick here from Lightroom Blog, back in again with Julia Dunnan here. Check her out there below, juliadunnan.com. Great photographer, and you know what, maybe I'm going to go to her classes and learn something from her soon. She doesn't want to confess she's a good food photographer as well, but she is. She does loads of that too. Today she's a model though, so this is just very quickly looking at the TT350 being used to trigger other flashes and to be used as a flash triggered from a trigger directly. So it's just to show how versatile it is as a little baby flash. So I'm going to have a V850 Mark II and the AD360. Now these aren't TTL flashes, so I'm just going to be using them in manual mode. They don't fire high-speed sync, unfortunately, from this trigger, but I know the TTL versions do. So this is just a quick look at how versatile this little trigger is, both as a flash and being used as a trigger itself. Yeah, I know, I'm bumbling, but there we go. So let's just see what it looks like. This is where we're going to have a look at the TT350 setup for radio modes. We turn it on, and the first thing we're going to do is to actually set it up to get it to sync. I'll just point out, if we press the sync button, it will turn on high speed sync. So you need to hold it, and you get this tiny little flashing antenna symbol, and then you twist it. You twist it once, and then press set, and that puts it in master mode on channel 2. To change the channel, you hold down the slave button and you see it flashing, and you can change the channel to whatever you want from there. Press set to set it. Now in this mode we can see we've got this M, that means master, and this M here to indicate the master channel, and we have this flash off symbol. So if we press mode, you can see it's now changed to TTL. If we press mode again, it's now manual power on the master channel, which is this flash itself when you're using it as a master. Generally speaking, you want this flash to be off in master mode. If you want to go and be in a slave mode where this is being triggered, same again, hold down the sync until it flashes, and we twist it again and it becomes slave. Press set to set it, and if we press the slave button, it will change between the different channels, so it can be on A, B or C. You can also again change the channel in exactly the same way by holding down if you need, and then the channel will flash and you can change it as required. Once it's set, you can press mode to change it between manual, multi and TTL. So we could have it in manual in this case, for example, if we're using it as a slave. To get out of there altogether, you hold down sync again, and then you twist again for TTL, and that brings you back out. Now obviously you have your manual and multi modes as an on-camera flash as well. So it's pretty straightforward to set it up as both a master and as a slave. This little kind of antenna flash up, and you twist it once, and that gives you master. We're on channel 2. We can change that here by pressing slave. Now we have this little symbol up here which tells us that master flash is off, so that means that this won't fire. Okay, and now we press slave, and that goes to channel A. If we press it again, it'll go to B and C. In this case, what we want is we want to be on manual power, and if you go through mode, you can see it's off, TTL and manual, and that's how it works for all of the channels. So in this case here, if I just move this way, a little bit this way, and I start to change it, you should see that my trigger, the actual flash in the background, is changing to match. So I'm going to put the L flash on the camera, ready to go, although it needs to be on 1/16 power, so I'm just dropping it down there to that. And change my settings here, and I'm going to knock it off down to 1/60th of a second as well, and fire. Okay, it's a little bit bright, so I'm going to change my aperture as well. Yeah, cool, that's fine. Maybe slightly bright, but it's okay. But as you can see, it's a lovely soft light, so triggering no problem as well. We're able to turn it down, so I'm going to, just for the sake of it, I'm going to bring it down a whole stop there, so you can see that that image is a bit darker. So just to show that you have that control with this. So this is acting as a trigger. So now I'm going to show it to you with another flash, the V850 Mark II. So what we have here now is the flash and the trigger together. So what I need to do is I need to press slave to get to C, so they match up. And as you can see, I'm changing the two of them there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on quarter power, and I'm going to bounce into the ceiling with this once I get it on the camera. So you're going to get that bounce look we've seen in the bounce video, but I'm going to do it off camera by holding it up in the air. It'll just get it closer to the ceiling so it won't spread as much. So what I'm going to do now here is just trigger this one. So this is going to trigger this, but I should really hold it in my hand and point it into the ceiling, otherwise nothing will happen. That's a very amused smile there, Julia, now.
I'm amused.
Cool. So as you can see there, works perfect triggering. So that's good. And now the last thing we're going to do is show it being triggered by another trigger. So this will become the actual flash, and we'll have a separate transmitter. So the final part of the exercise is to actually trigger this flash from our transmitter. This is the XT16 transmitter. There will be an X1T or an X1TF, which will be the TTL trigger. So I'm just going to put that back on again because it's gone to sleep. And the same as before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down the sync button until we see the flashing antenna. And now I'm going to change it to slave. Now it's slave on channel A here at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press mode. Well, I need to press set first. So now I press mode and we're in manual mode. I'm on A here, channel 2. So as you can see, as I change the trigger, the flash is now changing. I'm going to just slide this down a little bit so we can see the flash fire. And I'm going to just hit the test button. So we can see we fired there. In actual fact, it's fired the other flash just beside me here as well. So there we go. So this is a little handy combination. Now you could use 2 of these flashes together, which will give you a good combination of having an option for 2 flashes and triggered from something like this, or you can have one as master and one as slave for TTL. So that's the various different triggering modes that you have with the TT350. This applies to all of the series from the Fuji right across, but I'm specifically doing it on Fuji. So I have my flash in the hand, and what I need to do is to change my mode, and I'm pressing slave to get it on to what we are, A channel. So we're on A channel. This is half power on A channel, which matches what's on the trigger. So now I'm going to point it up in the ceiling for another bounce. I'll point it over a little bit that way so we get a little bit of shape. I need a little bit more power now because my aperture's gone up, so I'm going to turn it up. Actually, I can turn it up here as well. So it's now on full power. So it's a little bit of broad lighting going on here now. Oh, of course it won't recycle as quick at full power. So that's it being triggered. So you could use this in an umbrella and all that kind of stuff. So it's really convenient size. Like I say, it's the same size as the camera. So a tiny, tiny flash. Love it, love it, love it. So you've seen it being used as a trigger and being triggered. So that is the joy of this. So if you got 2 of these, you could actually use them, you know, to use them with one of these triggers as a double flash system, or you can use it for TTL between the 2 of them. So this will do TTL triggering as well. So my video lights died there, folks. Oh well, these things happen. So that was a bit of fun showing you the triggering capabilities and the ability to be triggered by that little flash, gorgeous little flash. Thanks again to Julia for her help. Again, have a look at her website, juliadunnan.com, and check out her stuff. Leave a message in the comments telling me how much you liked her stuff. That is as good as I think it is. It is really, really good. So folks, thanks for watching. The usual, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button if you want to like it, hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.